Welcome back, everyone, to the Helix Esports 2v2 LAN, sponsored by RBG. I am Meet and Greek. Joining with me tonight is Squid. We're going to be finishing up this evening with some great Rocket League action. But before we do, I think we have a winner for our Titanium White Octane giveaway. Squid, would you do the honors?
I would. Again, this has been happening throughout the night, and we do have a winner for you. So if you're in the chat out there, Zeus C, congratulations. You just won a Titanium White Octane. I wish I had won it, but unfortunately, that's not the way the world works.
Yeah,
so,
Zeus C, our moderators will message you and get your info and enjoy your Titanium White Octane. It's fun to play with
credit card number and the 3 numbers. No, never mind. Not that. We don't need that. That's not necessary.
I swear, when I got my Titanium White Octane, I played better immediately.
Is that how that works?
That's exactly how it works. Maybe you'll get out of GC into rank A or something, or rank S.
Rank A Meet and Greek. You heard it here first, folks. But we do have our next match. It's going to be the first quarterfinal we'll be seeing on stream. We got Peak Esports versus Cleelin, and we were talking about them being one of the big 3 teams. So this is going to be a challenge. But
it is.
We also noted that we see a lot of upsets, especially at LANs. So you can't count out
That's also true. It's almost interesting to me because we're in a LAN setup right now, but the players are not necessarily right next to each other. No. So it's almost like an online match, though we are playing LAN build, of course, sure. Everyone. So 0 ping for everyone. So it's kind of like, it's almost
best of both worlds.
It's best of both worlds, I want to say.
Unless you like yelling at your opponents in live time. But, you know, that's just, you know, subjective. We'll have to see how this one plays out. Of course, there is money for first, second, and third place. So you have to at least make it to the semifinals if you even want a chance. Let's get this one underway without any further ado. Peak Esports in the blue and Cleelin in the orange. We got a best of 3 headed your way, and Savvy's trying to start off with a bang. Raw Greg will make sure that it does. They have the first goal.
And this is what Raw Greg was talking to me about earlier, is just getting started strong, and what a great shot from Savvy to open it up. But Raw Greg playing that shadow offense on the play there to clean up, and Cleelin starting out very strong, only 6 seconds into this match, Squid, and they've already scored 1 goal.
That is how you want to do it, but you'd much rather get a goal scored against you with 6 seconds off the clock than with 6 seconds left to lose the game. So that's definitely going to be a little bit of a boon as they move forward. Peak Esports going to try and move out onto the offense quickly, but Savvy picks up possession, and you know he's so dangerous, it's just off the mark. Exceed will be able to clear it away, but he pays with his life. Taken off the field, and things are looking down the other way now. Penniless Club going to try and move down. Exceed, potential shot opportunity just off the side, and Penniless will retreat. Raw Greg with possession. Savvy for the bump. He does, just barely enough, and they have the second one.
And when you have Raw Greg going down the field in control of the ball, Savvy, excellent job. Big team bump there. Penniless Club couldn't do anything about that one. You know he was trying his hardest to get in front of it. So Cleelin really feeling each other right now. I'm loving the synergy they're bringing.
Well, these are 2 teammates that have played together for so long. They're former Seoul Esports. They're Amethyst now, but they've been playing Rocket League as a team for countless hours at this point. And here's a shot. Exceed's actually going to get a cheeky angle from the corner, and Peak have one back.
Yeah, I actually want to take a look at this play. Raw Greg was doing a great job of putting that ball into the corner, but he got caught up by Penniless. He got caught and stuck in his wheels, couldn't turn out of that one, allowed Exceed to come in and play cleanup.
Play cleanup he did. They'll gladly take that one. 4 minutes and 2 are on the clock. A deficit of 1 for our blue team, and a favorable face-off for Cleelin. Savvy off the back wall. Raw Greg going to try and take a shot here. Savvy maybe trying for the redirect. We've seen him do some crazy striking things in the past. He did not make contact or connect with it this time around, but he's going to try and keep it up. Penniless with some good backboard defense, but Raw Greg going to try and keep it in the zone. Looks like Cleelin might be trying to play just a little bit of a retreat. I'm actually surprised that Savvy C was able to keep that in the zone so effectively. And it looks like they're really boxing Peak out. Savvy's coming across lightning fast to score that one.
And you can see Cleelin's really comfortable in this game because based on the types of shots that they're going for, they're playing not so aggressively. They're just kind of just bumping it around. They know Peak Esports is going to make a mistake, and they're playing off that energy. So Cleelin playing very smart Rocket League, and hey, this is a best of 3, so if they can keep this up for 2 games, they can get this sweep.
Oh, and Raw Greg just barely kept out there by Exceed. and they are indeed looking at a potential sweep. I mean, their offense has been impeccable so far. They haven't really had to play much defense, so I can't really comment on that one, but here might be another opportunity. Raw Greg coming out of the corner. He pops it high and finishes with ease, 4-1 with 3:14.
And Raw Greg, he set himself up for this play, but I was actually very surprised that he had so much time to just turn on that ball. I was thought Exceed or someone else was going, or Penniless Club was going to get back on defense faster, but unfortunately for them, they were just a little too slow. Gave Greg so much time with the ball, and hey, when you give him that much opportunity, he's going to take it.
Such a strong player. Great pass to Savvy as well. We don't even have enough time to transition into the next play. 9 seconds is all it takes for this amazing pass play to start up. Raw Greg, an excellent touch up to Savvy seal in the midfield, and all obviously it's going to be in the upper 90.
Of course, and unfortunate there for Penniless Club. He was trying to boom that ball downfield. Instead, he hit the ceiling, and Raw Greg was there waiting for that to happen. So he's playing for that mistake, and that's that aggressive offense. And again, the mistakes coming out from Peak Esports. Cleelin just unrelenting here, because that ball shouldn't have been hit center.
They are just stacking it as much as they can, and you said it, that ball, just a little bit of a personal mistake on that one. You can't really get around that. It should have been a hit off the wall, and he definitely was looking for a little bit more distance on that one, but the fact remains, the ball did cross their goal line. A 6-1 deficit almost seems insurmountable.
That bouncing in?
Oh my goodness.
No way.
Almost. Raw Greg will take credit, but what in the world was that?
I couldn't believe this. Like, I saw this bouncing. I was like, no way this has the angle. It does, folks. That ball was going to go in if Exceed didn't touch it. Anyways, Raw Greg, though, to come in and play cleanup. But, hey, 7-1. We're not even halfway through this game, Squid. And honestly, we might see the scoreline just keep on increasing.
Right, we are. I mean, plans are to go to Brazil, but it doesn't look like they're going to stay that way for long, considering how much offense Cleelin has been playing. I mean, Peak only have that one goal to their name. It doesn't really seem like they've had any significant amount of pressure either. So we'll have to see if they can try and make an adjustment, and it might already be time to look forward to game 2. Savvy's going to try and style on him, Exceed. Got to be able to slam the door shut. But my goodness, if you see him trying to freestyle like that, you know that you are in trouble.
Yeah, you are indeed, because this just goes to show how, like, just at ease this Cleelin team is. Like, they are not worried at all. Savvy, of course, the shot from way downtown, he already knew that was on target. You see him just not caring after he makes contact with this ball. And unfortunate circumstances there for Penniless, is all you can do is attempt at that shot and try to clear it away, but just couldn't make the contact.
And I said, you know, I was kind of considering it might be time to look forward to game number 2. I think it is definitely time at this point. I mean, I don't want to call it with 2 minutes left, but how in the world are you going to come back from an 8-1 deficit this late in the game, especially against a team that's been playing non-stop offense? It's basically a one-way trip straight to elimination right now for Peak, unless they can change something significant. I mean, getting to the ball first might be the key, but at the same time, they don't want to overextend or make a missed touch, because they're going to get punished.
Well, yeah, Andrew, you're right, but we've seen it in this game. Peak Esports has what it takes to score against this Cleelin team. They just have to start to minimize these defensive errors, because it's really destroying them on defense right now. If they can go ahead, mitigate them, and start to turn some more offensive pressure, I think they're going to do extremely well against this Cleelin team. Something that they really have to start working on is generating that offense, and that ball gets sent downfield, and you can see here Savvy's going to just give it to Greg, and he's going to boom it. Or yeah, he does exactly that. And again, that's just over the entire defense. No one can get back.
And I feel like this is a perfect example of the synergy that Cleelin has, right? Because Savvy was fielding a boomer from the opposing team. They thought they were going to be making some ground off that one, but
nope.
Lots of dismay to be had during that play, because he easily passed it off to Raw Greg. He was able to control it on the side wall, mind you, not even a catch on the ground, which is something we don't really see often, catching on the sidewall. I digress. I mean, he still was able to make the play, and that's just the passing plays that we come to expect from this team. Now with 50 seconds left, Cleelin they're not letting up. They are looking for their 10th goal of the game. We'll see if they can get it. Raw Greg pushing up the left side here. Penny going to try and push it out, Exceed to follow, but this might be a little bit of a dangerous ball. Raw Greg for the doink, does not hit the target. That was a good idea. Not quite, though. And now Peak Esports looking for potential goal exceed to push it through, and there you go. They get one back. Hopefully a bit of momentum.
Yeah, this is so important, especially going into game 2. I feel like if Cleelin was able to shut them out for the remainder of this game, it would have been all over, no hope. But now, this is the type of opportunity that you want to create. You want to create some more offensive pressure. They got it. They have an idea in their head. They have a plan set for game 2, hopefully at least. And from there, they can start to make the changes they need in order to take a game in this series.
Hopefully indeed. I mean, it's going to be a huge mental battle for these players, though.
Oh,
Greg can easily turn that one in. Just a bit of a double commit on the defensive side, but with 17 seconds left, I think it's safe to say that this game is over at this point.
Yeah, and this is a perfect example of why you have to trust your teammate in twos, because if you don't, it's going to lead to situations like this where if you both miss that ball, it's going to go center. No one's going to be on the goal line to try to make an attempt at a save. Just unfortunate positioning there led to that goal, and it's kind of the story of what we've mostly have seen this game.
And again, I mean, you're talking about Peak, you know, maybe they just didn't have enough faith in each other on that play. Could be the mental wear and tear that this series is undoubtedly having on them. But at the same time, I mean, when you're thinking of a team like Cleelin, I mentioned it earlier, Raw, Greg, and Savvy have been playing for, again, untold amounts of hours in this game together. And I mean, Raw, Greg, even to that extent, he was a substitute. Because you remember the former first string for this team was Nap, Savvy, and Bork. Now it is Raw, Greg, Savvy, and Bork. He basically came in as a super sub, and he's still out here styling on fools, even on LAN.
Yeah, and I think that just goes to show how important chemistry is in Rocket League. And I was talking to Greg earlier, and that's how teams like Cloud9 are so successful, because they've stayed the same for so long. They've made no changes. Well,
except for NRG.
Except for energy. But
big rip.
But think about this, NRG hasn't won RLCS LAN yet.
They haven't won an RLCS LAN yet. There's still time to change that.
Oh yeah, there's a whole weekend to change that, Andrew. And I'm very excited for the rest of this weekend. It's my first RLCS, and like I'm already like so into the drama, so into these games.
It's great.
Yeah,
the crowd has gotten loud. Usually, you only get that loud of a crowd on day 3. I'll say. I've been like, this is my 3rd RLCS, and I know
the stream doesn't do it justice how loud the crowd is. Like, cause like you know, watching from home, like I was last time, like it's just not the same experience. Like, oh my goodness, it's a fun time. But I'm also having fun here at the 2v2 LAN here at Helix Esports, sponsored by RBG. We're gonna get ready to go. Oh.
Somebody's getting excited.
Celebrating.
Somebody's getting excited over there.
There's another quarterfinal match, and it's going crazy. It's 2-2 right now. They got 2 minutes left. I don't see the team names, but
I
think our
if I'm not mistaken, that's Jersey Scores versus the Stockton Boys. Isn't it?
Oh, okay.
All right. Well, there's a match going on in the background, but we got game number 2 coming up right here. We got Cleelin and Peak Esports, and again, Peak gonna have to make a significant comeback in that one, and that's a good way to start there. Penniless Club. Almost getting that one past Savvy. No luck on that front, though, but it's a good way to get that offense rolling. He's going to have to touch this one off his back wall. Moving downfield, a little bit low on boost here, but another 1v1 opportunity. That one popped up high. Aftermath of the demo. Now Savvy downfield, past 1, almost past 2, not quite, but it's off the side wall. Raw Greg still threatening. That's going to be a shot a little bit off the mark, it looked to be. But Peak managed to hold the defense strong. The first 30 seconds has come and gone. This is a lot longer than it took Cleelin to score last time around. So
yeah, and this is good for Peak Esports. They made the adjustments they need. And hey, they're on offense right now. Unfortunately, nothing's really coming to fruition. They have to pull back a little bit, but this is very good. They've gone almost a minute now without Cleelin scoring. Excellent job of them on the defense to really get it out, but now they got to play some defense here. I want to see what changes they can make on this end, as Raw Greg didn't have an open net, and Caster's curse coming out, Andrew.
Raw Greg doesn't need the open net because of how well Savvy did in this 50-50. He was already going in just organically, and the 1 minute mark is where we actually reside as Cleelin scores the first goal, and they're going to see if they can just secure this 2-0 sweep in this best of 3 to move to the semifinals. Once again, to be in the money, you have to place at least 3rd, and we do have a 3rd place match. We'll be played off stream later on after our winner is decided, and Savvy Seal, he's looking for that double tap. It's always scary when you get that open backboard. Penniless Club, a little bit downfield. Not too much doing on that one. Exceed going to touch it to the backboard. Once again, an open backboard, I like to say open backboard is an open net, but in the 2's environment, it's so difficult. Savvy absolutely blasting that one to the right side.
And I don't think the defense was even expecting a shot here from Savvy, but again, he had so much boost in the tank, so much speed, and Penniless Club, this is kind of situation where kind of what I learned playing soccer is that you always want to be ball side. They're saying that, meaning you always want to be between the ball and the net, and unfortunately, Penniless Club was just a bit outside, and that just prevented him from getting in front and trying to make that save.
And that's a heartbreaker as well. Peak Esports, once again, lost the last game in a bit of a landslide, so not looking so hot at the beginning of game number 2. They need this one to stay alive. Savvy in a 1v1, absolute blast once again, but Penniless Club will be able to defend it this time. Raw Greg for the follow. Savvy's going to try and get a touch on that one, and a follow-up as well. Exceed's able to make the save. Good reads. Just blistering speed from Cleelin, though. You can tell they are just pushing as hard as they can. Penniless Club once again diving across the net to make a save, and they're trying to move downfield as well. He's got the flip, left it almost, but it's over top of the crossbar, and they can't turn it in.
And Squid, actually, this is something very interesting I want to highlight, is just the minute differences in mechanical skills between Peak Esports and Cleelin. You can see, I believe it was Penniless Club on one of these defensive rotations went up in the air to try to get an aerial hit. No, it was Exceed actually. And Raw Greg launched after him, was still able to get to the ball first. That's because he was utilizing a fast aerial and Exceed wasn't. And it's just these tiny differences that really can make the huge difference in these 50-50s.
The tiny changes indeed. Devils in the details. Well, there weren't many details to be had for. Oh my goodness. That actually just happened.
That just happened.
That. Savvy Seal with the most legendary own goal of all time. Unintentional at that. Oh,
that's unfortunate. You hate to see it.
And he's just trying to flip back. He's just trying to get some boost, you know. Completely innocent. Savvy Seal. That's just what you do sometimes. You just got to flip back and get boost, and suddenly there's a ball in your way, and oh no, we've owned goal. Well,
this could mean something here for Peak Esports if they can take advantage. It's going to bite Cleelin in the butt, but we'll have to see if that even happens because they're still playing very confidently. Like, again, Penniless Club giving Savvy Seal so much room on the field, and that's a situation where you can go up and make a 50-50 challenge and maybe win it and send that ball flying downtown and create an offensive pressure, but it's just not happening for them as the pass plays coming out for Exceed. Oh my goodness, and this is what we want to see from Peak Esports.
Even then, they only barely snaked this one through. You can see Raw Greg was he was in the likely line from the very beginning. That backflip just couldn't quite get it away, but a tie-up is very valuable indeed. A minute 39 on the clock. Cleelin want to close it out here, and Peak Esports need this one to stay alive. Raw Greg quick in the air. He's got so much boost. Blocked by Exceed, and Savvy's going to be a little bit late to the follow-up as Penniless Club pushes it downfield. 90 seconds left now. Can Peak Esports take the lead here is the big question that I think we all have. Easy touch off to the side. Exceed going to try and follow that one up. Raw Greg towards center. Savvy could not get the bump. A good idea. Exceed's going to try and touch this one downfield as far as he can for the reset. And it looks like they're not going to be able to push that one back downfield. We got a little bit of a ping pong match going on between the blue corner and the midfield line. It looks like Cleelin want to take possession though.
Yeah, and I think it's very interesting because Cleelin, they're playing a little bit more passively now that that second goal was scored, and I don't really think they need to because they still have the one game advantage on Peak Esports. However, mistakes like that are going to really make them pay. Where was the defense? And here's the problem, Raw Greg, and that's just a mechanical mistake coming in from Savvy. That ball should have been hit centered. Instead, it was just a whiff.
Yeah, we could try and use all the technical terminology that we want to, but
you can't really.
It's a whiff.
Can't excuse that. You can't excuse it. Yeah, unfortunately, it happens to the best of us, but in the most unfortunate timing, you got to say.
You do. Well, there's still time. We've seen Cleelin put on an incredible number of goals within regulation, and Savvy again getting beaten out this time, I believe. I don't think this was really an organic whiff. I feel like this is just Penniless catching him off guard with that touch.
Yeah, and at the same time, it's almost like, did Savvy give his controller to someone else or something? Because this is just so uncharacteristic. However, 31 seconds left. Cleelin not out of it yet. However, the way that Peak Esports has been playing in this game, they've completely shifted it. And I'm loving this from them, actually. It's showing that, hey, they can bounce back from any situation. Hey, so what if they scored 11 goals on us in game one? That doesn't matter. We're going to score 4. Okay. Raw Greg, I see you.
See, you can never count this kind of team out, right? As soon as Penniless went up for that he had to have known that he was in such a bad spot because there was only really one option for him there, and that was the option that obviously played out in a goal against.
I think actually he could have maybe waited on that ball just a little bit longer and tried to play it outside. Unfortunately, hindsight's 2020 here, and they have an opportunity now for Cleelin to tie this one up.
And the ball remains in the zone. Good bump. Savvy has an open net.
Oh, no.
He almost missed it, looked like, for a second there. And they tie it up. 3 seconds to go. And Savvy, with a huge bump on Exceed, takes him completely out of the play as soon as Penniless goes past that ball. Absolutely free.
Yeah, so clutch from Savvy to come in and under so much pressure. Less than 10 seconds left. You have to score to tie it up, but he comes in big for Cleelin. And now we're probably going to get an overtime to decide who's going to be moving on in this series.
Greg not able to put it off the back wall. OT in game number 2. Everything's on the line here for Peak, and Cleveland wants to move on with a win here. Let's get underway. Greg, relatively neutral, 50-50. That might be an open net. Savvy with the banger, and he puts it through. Cleveland advanced to the semifinal.
Oh my goodness, and this team, you can't blink for a second or you're gonna miss it. Talk about a shot on target, 68 miles per hour, Squid, and the synergy between these two players is just so unrelenting. You can't even see that pass coming out, but in their heads, they have their moves planned 5 steps in advance. That's what gave Cleelin the advantage in this series.
And I think one of the other important parts of their play style is that they were tenacious. They did not give up in any regard. Peak Esports had a lead at 2 with under 30 seconds to go. Did that? I mean, you can see the result right here now. I mean, less than a minute later of game time, and they've won the game.
Yeah, they scored 3 goals in less than a minute, and that just shows their aptitude at the game. You're right, they don't give up. That's so huge in Rocket League. You see it so often where you give up hope. Hey, 30 seconds is so much time in Rocket League. A lot of people need to really understand that. This game is 5 minutes long. 30 seconds is a millennia. So many opportunities. And yeah, offensive rotations, they take like nothing. You just got to be able to put away 1 or 2 shots and you can tie this game up. And that's exactly what they did. Greg, Savvy Seal pushing on to the semifinals, but well-deserved to Peak Esports as well. They played super well, and compared to game 1, they completely just changed their entire play style. It was working so well, but they just broke down in the end. They really could have forced game 3. They were in position to do so.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, if we were handing out most improved awards, it would definitely go to them for their change from game 1 to 2. I mean, not often that you see a team basically lose by, I think it was like 8 or 9 goals, and then force an overtime in game number 2. But that's the end of the road for them. They're going to be dropping out of the tournament in the quarterfinals. Thanks for playing. They did look pretty good in what we saw of them. But that's it. Cleveland moving on to the semis, and we're actually going to have one of your semifinal matches up next. We're going to be taking a short break so we can rest our voices, and then we'll be back.